Hi, this is Dory. Welcome to Stories by Dory, my crafting journey. In this video, I'm going to share with you 7 Cricut Design Space tips and tricks using Windows Desktop. Watch to the end because I'll share my favorite 2 with you then. My first tip is when you need to work on multiple projects. I might be wanting to do an engraving, which might take a long time using my Cricut Maker, and I want to do a maybe simple small project on my Joy, or I even want to work in design on another project. I can use multiple windows in Cricut Design Space. So right now I have a window open. Let's say I've loaded up a project and I want to work on a second project at the same time, maybe while this project is cutting. I can go into the upper left-hand corner, click on the word file, and then simply click on New Window. That will bring and open up another window in Cricut Design Space. And if I just move this window down, you can see I have the other window open. And then from here, I can select another project. So create a new project, for example, and then bring in a new file. My second tip is the ability to change your canvas color. Let's say that I want to cut out a design and I want to actually use a black canvas, but as I'm looking at my design in white, looking at the background in white, it's kind of hard to tell what it will look like. So I actually can change the background color in Design Space. I actually can change the background color in Cricut Design Space. I'll go to the lower right-hand corner and I'll actually click on the blank canvas. The bar at the top, my edit bar changes and I can actually see color. This will let me click and use my material color selection to pick a different color. So for example, I can select black. That will change my canvas. My third tip is being able to mirror your image actually before you go to the Make It screen. I discovered this last year when I had a project with, I think, 11 or so canvases. And when I was on the Make It screen, I was going down and having to select each canvas because I was going to be doing a heat transfer, so my vinyl needed to flip. So I was selecting each canvas and going through and mirroring it. But what I realized is I actually can just take my image and instead of mirroring on the mat, I can actually flip my image. And I can flip my image either vertically or horizontally depending on what I needed to do. So in this case, if I flip it horizontally, I have a mirror image of my design. And so when I go to make it, all of my mats are already mirrored and I can just continue on from there. My fourth hack is the ability to turn your grids on and off quickly. So again, in Cricut Design Space, I can actually go to the intersection between my rulers. There's a small little square there, and by clicking one time, I can actually remove all of the grids on the canvas. So a secondary click will go to 1 by 1, and then that third click will get back to the 1/8 inch grid. And this is really handy if I'm trying to do a screenshot and either share with somebody to have them pick a choice out, or I want to have an image for a picture. My fifth tip is the ability to use the color sync section to be able to drag and drop colors together. So right now I have a project in Cricut Design Space. I have 8 small designs that I'll be using for keychains. And as I start looking at the color sync panel, I notice that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 similar shades of the same color, kind of a yellowish orange. So if I want to be able to reduce the amount of color cuts that I have, I can come in and start grouping these together. It doesn't really matter which ones I go to because I'm going to use the same color, but I can come in and select and drag and drop the designs into one of the colors. So I went now down to one color instead of all of those. Here's my 6th tip. I discovered this one accidentally one day. I was working in Cricut Design Space. I had loaded up a number of images, and as you can see right now, they actually fill the screen. If I go ahead and click, they're actually quite large. So one of the things that I accidentally did was I actually was holding down my control key and I rotated or moved my mouse wheel in or towards me, and I realized that I can actually zoom in and out the same way I zoom in and out on the program I use for my actual work job. I also discovered my laptop has a little trackpad. I can actually move my fingers apart or bring them in to also zoom in and out, but I use my control key and my mouse wheel the most often on those. And as you noticed, these images all came in at a very large size, and these are actually keychain images. So one of the things that I'll typically do will be to, when they come in, they're all selected. I will come in and align center. And now from here, I can resize either using the drag handle in the lower right-hand corner or just typing in the size that I want and making it a little easier to work with rather than those huge designs. And then my 7th tip, the ability to save your project. In Cricut Design Space, if I go to the upper right-hand corner under my Save menu, I can click the Save button to save, and then once I've saved a project, I can also use the Save As. But what I discovered, again, accidentally, is I used my keyboard shortcut Control S, which I'm used to doing on a Windows, and that popped up my Save project. And so I can use that to save rather than using the menu. And again, I can use, if I make any changes, Control Save will allow me to save and update the project. Thank you for watching the video. If you found this helpful, if you could please take a moment to like my video, leave a comment, and please subscribe to my channel.